How do you feel about how you show up on social media? How do you feel about writing posts? And when you put the text in, do you think about it? Is it just easy? Does it just come out? How do you feel about being on video and speaking face to camera on your Instagram or whatever your social media is? How do you feel about the sound of your voice when you do it? Do you like social media? Are you ambivalent about it? But more importantly, what happens inside when you post or think about posting? In this episode, we're going to explore what social media can teach us about our confidence, about perfectionism, about any blocks inside us that make us shut down or make us very free to express ourselves fully and wholly in the world. I think that this is a really interesting area. Social media can tell us so much about ourselves. It can tell us so much about our confidence. It can tell us a lot about how much we need to be curated and perfect in the world, whether we are willing to take risks or whether there are parts of us that only allow ourselves to appear composed and perfect and edited in the eyes of the world. Honestly, it'll show us a lot about our vocal and communication blocks. So often when I go and look at someone's social media profile, I'll instantly be able to tell fairly quickly a lot about their communication system. The most obvious thing is someone who has very few posts pictures of their cat or vases of flowers or the odd sunset or two, but no personal stuff, nothing of them. Now, of course, this could just be I'm private and I don't like sharing myself with the world, but often this is all about blocks, feelings about our face, about how we sound on video and so on. And these translate into how we are around groups of people, how we market ourselves, how we do all sorts of things in the world. So in this episode, we're going to explore how social media can be both a healing and teaching force in our lives to show us areas where we are blocked and places that we can grow. Because I'm going to say that social media can be really healing. It's a place where we can go to an edge inside ourselves of social comfort and discomfort and push that edge out and take up more space in the world. And this is especially important if you have work or a career or passion or creativity that you need and want to put out in the world, but you find yourself afraid to fully let go and put things out there. It can be a huge block on one's ability to really be successful in the world if we have this block that makes us shut down, post less, share less, and really just not market ourselves. So I'm going to use myself as an example. How do I feel about social media? I feel completely ambivalent. I feel all the things. I feel on the one hand that the world would probably be a better place without it. Phones are doing dramatically weird things to us, and that black mirror staring, those addictive behaviors, it can't be great for us. It definitely doesn't seem to make us more conscious. And on the other hand, it's part of how I market and share my work, share my creativity. So it's a place of self-expression. So I have this whole range of feelings from, and let me run away from that. And I feel quite private to, let's go there and let's do it. And so given that I work with communication and self-expression, I've spent a huge amount of time looking at the fine detail of what happens to us as we post. I am my primary guinea pig, but of course I work with a lot of clients around this too. So I experience complex feelings about posting, and it's just a really human experience, and it's been a huge teacher. To give you an example, when I first started sharing my coaching work, I had been basically coaching and teaching for maybe a decade without publicly sharing that fact and just operating with word of mouth while having a public persona as a musician. It was very uncomfortable for me to out myself as a coach, healer, practitioner. And it challenged all kinds of who I am in the world and need to be cool, and I found it hard. And I remember I had a mantra really at the time of just saying, just remember where you'll be in a year or in 2 years from here. Just do it now. It might look ugly now, but it was a bit of a white knuckle ride at first. So enough about me. What about you in social media? How do you feel about writing? When you're writing those things, do you second guess or is it easy? How do you feel about the sound of your voice? How do you feel about just turning that camera on and speaking to the camera and sharing yourself on video with the internet? It's something that I do all the time and I've become very comfortable at it, but it's also a learned skill. How do you feel about it? Lots of people I know are challenged or triggered by it. So let me talk about a few things that social media can teach us and help us heal or work with. The first area is it can show us our guardrails, these kind of guardrails of what unconsciously we believe is safe and acceptable for us to express. And we may in fact find if we are quite constricted in our posting that these guardrails are very tight, that we're very afraid of being called out, being shamed, of being too much, of not being seen as cool or embarrassing ourselves. And so we can find out a ton about our guardrails. Maybe some people need some guardrails and they don't have any. Maybe I should have better guardrails. I don't know. But I've had to work with quite a lot of constriction here. What are yours like? Next up, it's going to teach us a ton about perfectionism. In other words, with those posts, can we just post and be, oh, I just expressed myself and that feels okay? Or is this a kind of a sense of perfectionism, like nothing is ever good enough, like we can never quite put out something that satisfies us, that feels safe or good or even creative and fun? How perfectionist are we? Another huge one. Social media will tell us our relationships with them. Now, this is going to sound kind of strange, but Sartre is misquoted as saying, but beautifully, hell is other people, or simply, hell is the others. We have, it seems, in most of us, a fear of them. What will they say? What will they do if I do this? If I express myself wildly and fully, they will come and do terrible things to me. They will judge me. They will cast me out. It's actually built into our nervous system, into even our system, our shame system, you could say, this need to be accepted. So social media will show us our relationship with them. Do they scare the living hell out of us? Even though we don't even know who they are. They're just out there. How do you feel about them? Are they out there safe? Are you safe just to play and express yourself? Or are they scary? Adjacent to that is who judges us. Now, most of us, when we post, will have subtle images of people who maybe judgy people in our lives, or people we want to impress, or people that we're maybe a bit afraid of or jealous of. We will picture them looking at, judging our posts, or an image of them or a feeling of them will flash up inside us as we are posting or after we're posting. These are the people that we project our insecurity onto. It will show us who those people are, and then we can do some work of owning that projection and releasing it. More about that another time. Social media will also tell us about our self-identity. In my case, it's I'm a musician and I should look like this. But it can be about anything for anyone. I'm a mother, so I can't be like this. Or I'm a professional with this business, so I can't also be this. So it will challenge and push our self-identity in the eyes of the world. It will also challenge some belief systems deep inside us that can be coded into our families and cultures. It's bad to sell things. It's bad to boast. It's bad to self-promote. It's unadvisable to be confident. The tall trees catch the most wind and they always get chopped off, or whatever those ridiculous sayings are. There are deep belief systems that are ancient, ancestral, multi-generational ways of shutting us down and making us stay small. And so we can discover a whole lot about ourselves in relation to it's not safe for me to express myself and be free and put my work out and be abundant out in the eyes of the world. Social media can really show us where those limits are, but also create opportunities for us to grow, thrive, put our ideas out, learn to be more and more fearless, and certainly know how to master or work with the fear when it's in our bodies. And so if I was to summarize, it would be that social media can teach us about our fear of being visible, our fear of visibility. And so before we go any further, if you could put a thumbs up on the like button for this video, I would deeply appreciate it. It helps me get this work out. And really, if I was to summarize this work and to summarize this episode, it is that social media can be an incredible teacher for us. It can show us a whole lot of our constriction or blocks or communication blocks, the things that limit us when we want to express ourselves out in the world. And it can show us, let's just say, a door that will open towards walking through and marketing ourselves and sharing our ideas out in the world with clarity, with purpose, with some joy, with some freedom, and a lot less second guessing. I'm wishing you all the joy on social media. Please let me know how this landed, what's happening in your feed on Instagram and TikTok or wherever you are, and how do you feel about it?